Next week, a frigid Arctic cold is set to sweep across a large part of the United States, plunging temperatures 40 to 50 degrees below average. The polar vortex is in full swing, and its southern lobe is ready to unleash another significant Arctic blast from Canada. Before that hits, we'll see winter storm jet wreak havoc in the northeast, bringing intense snowfall and freezing rain. This month has already seen extreme weather due to disruptions in the polar vortex, leading to long-lasting cold outbreaks and intense winter storms. As we head into the week, the cold air mass that's been sitting over Canada will dive southward, reaching the Gulf and East Coast by Friday. Expect brutal cold days and potentially record low temperatures for millions across North America. The upper-level ridge over Arctic Canada is strengthening, creating a reservoir of frigid air that will intensify the high-pressure system, dragging those bone-chilling temperatures far down into the continental United States. Prepare for a deep freeze. This Friday, brace yourselves as the Arctic blast hits the central United States. We're talking about temperatures plummeting 40 to 50 degrees below average, especially across the Midwest and the central Mississippi Valley. The wind? It's going to make it feel even colder, with extreme wind chill temperatures that could be downright dangerous. But it doesn't stop there. The cold pool will stretch down to the south, bringing 20 to 30 degrees below normal from Texas to the lower Mississippi Valley. As the Arctic air pushes east, the southeast and east coast will also feel the chill. While this frigid cold will linger, it's expected to weaken over Canada by late next week, allowing temperatures to creep back to near normal for late February. And who knows? The final days of the month might just surprise us with a taste of warmer weather across much of the United States. Stay warm and be prepared. The Arctic blast is here, and it's bringing some of the most extreme cold we've seen in years. From Sunday through Friday, southern Canada and the north-central United States are bracing for temperatures plummeting 45 to 60 degrees below normal for mid-February. That's a serious risk of hypothermia for anyone caught outside too long. As the core of this cold air moves east and south, expect 30 to 40 degrees below normal across the Central Plains and Midwest. While winds will be calm, any gusts will make it feel even colder, with wind chills dipping below minus 50 degrees in the northern regions. And don't think the deep south is safe. Texas and the lower Mississippi Valley will face temperatures 20 to 30 degrees below normal. Nighttime lows will hover around minus 15 to negative 20 degrees in the north, with daytime highs barely reaching zero on Tuesday and Wednesday. Only central Texas and the southeast will see temperatures above freezing midweek. This Arctic air mass is no joke. Stay warm and stay safe. The highest pressure is setting the stage for an intense Arctic cold front that's making its way southward this Sunday. As temperatures plunge into a deep freeze, we're looking at an extensive Arctic cold pool intensifying over Canada. By Sunday, this brutal cold will start its rapid descent across the United States, sweeping down from Alberta and Saskatchewan through Montana, Wyoming, and the Dakotas. By Wednesday evening, February 20th, 2025, we'll see some of the most extreme temperature anomalies gripping central parts of the United States, especially in Wyoming, Nebraska, and South Dakota. As we move into Thursday, this frigid air mass will push further south, reaching Texas and even the Gulf Coast by evening. The southeast won't escape either, as the icy grip of the Arctic air will extend its reach. Prepare for a chilling week ahead, as this deep and extensive cold dominates much of the nation. A sharp cold front is on the way, bringing severe thunderstorms, heavy rain, and the potential for tornadoes from the Mississippi Valley to Alabama this weekend. As this fast-moving front races east, millions will face a frigid Arctic blast, plunging temperatures into a deep freeze. Next week, we'll see a large-scale blocking ridge forming over the Arctic, while a deep wave develops over Canada, pushing southward into the United States. This wave will intensify, causing colder air to descend and significantly raising surface pressure. Expect an extensive high-pressure system to dominate most of Canada and the northern United States, with pressure values soaring to around 1055 mbar by Thursday. This is a classic case of cold air being denser than warm air, creating a dramatic shift in our weather patterns. Stay prepared, as this cold snap is set to make its mark. A major winter storm is set to blanket eastern Michigan, northern Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, and Maine, along with southern Ontario, Canada. In just 24 hours, we could see an astonishing 1 to 2 feet of snow covering millions from Detroit to Toronto and even into Quebec. By Sunday night, many areas will be buried under fresh snow, and once the storm moves on, lake effect snow will kick in, potentially adding another 2 to 3 feet. But it's not just snow we're dealing with. A deep low-pressure system is bringing warm air from the south, creating a sharp temperature gradient. This means freezing rain and sleet could hit Pennsylvania and New York, especially around the lakes in southern Ontario. We might see up to an inch of black ice forming by Sunday afternoon, leading to hazardous travel conditions, power outages, and even falling trees. Stay safe out there. A powerful winter storm, dubbed Jet, is set to impact the Great Lakes and Northeast United States this Sunday, bringing with it a blizzard of deep snow. As the polar vortex looms over the Arctic, troughs are forming further south, leading to a significant upper wave that will tap into the frigid Canadian air. This weekend, an intense surface low will develop over the central United States, with its central pressure plunging below 980 mbar. As Storm Jet intensifies, it will sweep across the Central Plains on Saturday, rapidly deteriorating weather conditions as it moves into the Ohio Valley and then the Great Lakes. By Sunday morning, heavy snow will blanket Indiana, Ohio, and southeastern Michigan, accompanied by fierce northwesterly winds. The stark temperature contrast between the warm south and the cold north will fuel intense precipitation, resulting in blizzard conditions to the north of the warm front, while freezing rain and sleet will impact areas just south. Prepare for a significant winter event, as Storm Jet makes its presence felt across the eastern United States and southeastern Canada. The polar vortex is an enormous cyclone in Earth's atmosphere, expanding over the North Pole during winter. When it intensifies, it can stretch down to mid-latitude regions, bringing frigid temperatures. This winter, the polar vortex has been particularly strong, triggering severe cold outbreaks in Siberia since January. As the southern lobe of the vortex shifts towards North America, it's set to unleash a powerful winter storm jet, bringing heavy snow and blizzard conditions to the Great Lakes and Northeast United States. Meanwhile, with strong blocking over the Arctic, troughs are forming further south, dragging that significant Canadian cold pool right into the heart of the United States. Get ready for a wild winter. The polar vortex is a fascinating phenomenon that triggers some of the most extreme weather we experience. It forms when the polar regions cool significantly during fall, leading to those long, dark polar nights. As temperatures drop, the contrast with the warmer air to the south creates a powerful low-pressure system in the stratosphere. This cyclonic circulation is what we call the polar vortex. When the southern lobe of this vortex dips, it unleashes frigid air and intense winter storms across Canada, the United States, and even into Europe and Asia. The result? Bitter cold outbreaks that remind us just how interconnected our planet's weather systems truly are. The polar vortex is nature's way of showing us the dramatic effects of temperature differences across the globe. The polar vortex is a fascinating phenomenon that plays a crucial role in our winter weather. Imagine an enormous ring of powerful winds swirling around the North Pole, 20 to 50 kilometers above the Earth's surface. This tri-dimensional vortex influences our climate significantly, especially in high and mid-latitudes. When it disrupts, we often see extreme cold gripping places like North America, Asia, and even parts of Europe. It's most potent during winter, yet its effects ripple down to the troposphere, impacting our daily weather. So, while it spins high above us, the polar vortex is intricately linked to the weather we experience, making our winters not just colder, but also more unpredictable. Winter storm jet is making headlines in the Northeast, and it's just the beginning. Following the storm, we're bracing for an intense Arctic blast next week. What's driving these extreme weather events? It all comes down to the polar vortex. This phenomenon occurs when the polar vortex, a massive area of low pressure and cold air surrounding the poles, gets disrupted. This February, its southern lobe shifted over North America, allowing frigid air to surge southward, reaching as far as the Gulf Coast. To understand this better, let's look at our atmosphere. It consists of 6 layers, with the troposphere being the closest to Earth. This layer, about 12 kilometers deep, is where most of our weather happens. Above it lies the stratosphere, a much thicker layer that houses the ozone layer, protecting us from harmful solar radiation. So, as we prepare for the cold ahead, remember that the dynamics of the polar vortex play a crucial role in shaping our winter weather patterns. The second half of February is shaping up to be a real shock to the system. According to the NOAA's 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, we're in for a significant drop in temperatures. The Arctic cold pool is making its move, and it's going to be swift. Just look at the temperature charts for Goodland, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. We're talking about a dramatic plunge that will sweep across much of the nation, plunging us into a deep freeze. The high plains stretching from Wyoming to Colorado and western Kansas are bracing for a staggering temperature drop of nearly 30 degrees in just 36 hours. This isn't just a cold snap. It's a polar vortex event that will intensify over Canada and push down into the northern United States by Sunday and Monday. And then it's set to dive even further south next week. Prepare for a winter blast that will leave its mark. Frigid Arctic cold is making a fierce return next week, plunging a large part of the United States back into a deep freeze. The polar vortex is active above North America, and its southern lobe is set to unleash another significant Arctic blast, sending temperatures plummeting 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit below average. Before this chill sets in, winter storm jet will hit the Northeast, bringing intense snowfall and freezing rain. This month has already seen extreme weather due to disruptions in the polar vortex. leading to long-lasting cold outbreaks and intense winter storms. The frigid air mass has lingered over Canada and the northern United States for weeks, and now it's ready to surge southward. By midweek, expect brutal cold days and potentially record low temperatures reaching all the way to the Gulf and East Coast. This upcoming weather pattern will strengthen the upper-level ridge over Arctic Canada, creating a reservoir of frigid air that will drag those bone-chilling temperatures deep into the heart of the nation. Prepare for a winter blast that's not just cold, but historically significant.